where it's like, if I miss this parry window, everyone dies, and I don't get like a set. Like that's it. That's the end of the fight if I miss one parry here. So I have to just dodge some of these attacks, which is making the game harder.
So Clair Obscur 33.
Expedition 33.
Expedition 33.
Apparently, I haven't looked into this. Short Ryan from Domino's was telling me what very little he was aware of was that it is a book called Clair Obscur.
Okay.
And the game is specifically the 33rd expedition. And you follow them.
Gotcha. Yep. The graphics look insane. Like, they look so clean. Like, the dirt on the face, like, everything looks really crisp. Yep. As it progresses, do the characters get, like, dirtier and, like, more bloody kind of thing? Like,
if your people take damage, they will.
Oh.
Which, very often, I'm playing on the hardest difficulty because I was like, this is mainly just reaction time. I don't want to play on, like, a baby difficulty and, like, get bored with the combat. So usually...
Bring it a little closer to you.
Usually, if someone takes damage, especially in this final boss fight, if someone takes damage in the final boss, they either die or they go down to 1 HP, or very close to that. So they will look really good, and then they will just be covered in blood. And it's like, okay, well, yep. That's, yes. They will progressively get bloodier as you go. But it's also kind of like Elden Ring, like, at least in the sense of, in Elden Ring, when you would fight enemies in the open world, if you rested at a campfire, you would get all, like, your health replenished, you get all your resources replenished, and all the open world enemies would be back.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that with Clair Obscur, where you have a certain number of, like, resources, like team heals that you can use. And after that, you have to rest to get more back, which will respawn enemies in the open world.
Gotcha. The IGN review that I watched, the guy was saying that it took him about 35 hours to beat the game. He was saying that it's pretty streamlined, like it's pretty quick as far as how games go nowadays when it's turn-based like that. But it almost makes you feel like you have to keep a certain pace or a certain level because the game is like, it's non-stop kind of. Like, it's very streamlined in the story, and although you have side quests, it seems like it's not like you're going and viewing this giant world kind of thing. Like, you're trying to get the main mission done.
Yes, it's not like as open world like as, you know, a lot of games are nowadays. It is more linear, but at certain parts of the story, you gain the ability to traverse terrain you previously couldn't, which opens up where you can go, and it allows you to go and do a bunch of side missions. The main story itself is pretty like linear. It's like, go do this, go do that, go do that. But there is a lot of side content. I think I might be somewhere in the 30 to 40 hour range. But I also know there's a lot of in-game content that I have not went into because versus like other areas, the in-game content will just tell me this is a dangerous place, don't go. And one of the times I went in there, I did no damage. I watched the enemy health bar not move at all when I did damage, and they one-shot me. So
it's like Dark Souls, like when you know you're not supposed to go to a certain area, and you're like, I'm going to go anyways.
That being said, after the enemies killed me, I was like, okay, I'm just going to run around and grab all the stuff on the floor and run away from you guys. But yeah, I learned recently, because Ryan was telling me a bunch about it, so they cap the damage at 9999, which has been fine for me because enemies that I am capable of killing, I can see, like, I can pretty consistently do that amount of damage on some of my characters, so I'm watching their health bar go down pretty steadily. There is a way to uncap the damage, but that's in one of those in-game areas, and I haven't really looked into it further than that. I don't know if it's intended to get it before you've beaten the game.
Gotcha. I know, so it's one of those turn-based where you play with multiple characters at the same time. is there some flexibility in that, or like the characters that you have is kind of set? Like, is it more like Kingdom Hearts where as you go to another location, you unlock like a character and then you have like 4 instead of 3 that you can play around with? Or is it very set, like this is who you've got, go for it?
There are additional characters. There are additional people you can find to join your team. It's not like to the same degree as like maybe Mass Effect or Baldur's Gate is, where you have like a pretty large list. Okay, Baldur's Gate maybe less so, but like you can, I think, you can have up to, I think, 5 people. There's a 3-man team. That's how large your team can be. And all of them play very differently, which is also really nice. So differently that one of the characters I've just kind of neglected playing because she confused me, and they only give you one opportunity to do the tutorial. When you find them, it's like, this is the only time you're going to be able to play the tutorial for this character. So do you want to do it or not? And I did it, but I did it with a bunch of people talking to me, so I was like, I couldn't check in. I'm lost with her. But yes, the other characters all play really nice. And yes, there is some flexibility in that. Yeah, maybe not as much flexibility as I'd like, but yes. Because virtually I'm using only 4 characters.
Okay. Are you playing it on the PC?
Yes.
Okay.
Though I'm playing with a controller.
Okay,
the game's
so on the
encouraged
PC,
with a controller.
with controller. Gotcha. Dude, the reviews have been crazy on it. Like, it's been 9 out of 10, like 9.9, 4 out of 5. Like, it's as high as I think you can get without it just being a straight perfect score with, like, everything. Like, I haven't seen a single review. Obviously, you have individuals, but, like, as far as the surveys themselves, massively
absolutely.
high stats.
Absolutely. The music's right up my alley.
Yeah.
It does like form a different mix. I think one of the characters, their introduction is like akin to like jazz music. Whereas like a lot of the other music can be like very like melancholic or orchestral or just like, really cool, beautiful like that.
Yeah.
Which has driven people at work up a wall because I will just play that music. And I think Travis multiple times has just told me, I'm trying to put him to sleep by playing the music because he does not like it.
Yep.
But the music's amazing. The graphics are great. There are a couple things like from just playing the game and me being able to see it when I play the game. The characters will oftentimes, their eyes will not really focus in on the character that they're talking to, which could just be an instance of people not looking at each other when they're talking, but it sometimes feels like maybe they are intended to be looking at their faces and they're not.
Gotcha.
I don't really know on that front. But yes, graphics are great, music's great, gameplay is great. I'm not really burnt out of it at this point. The thing is too, is when you get more comfortable with the moves that you have chosen, because of the way it works, at least on like controller, you can just quickly like mash the buttons you want to do to quickly do the combat, and the combat can go really quick because of that.
I heard the tempo is very important. Like paying attention to the speed, the tempo, like that's really big when it comes to parrying and dodging.
Yes, and the thing is too, is it's like I told Ryan about this, and he seemed pretty confident he'd be good at it, which I don't doubt he'll be good at it, but he seemed confident because he's good at rhythm games. A lot of the fights, or a lot of the enemies, some of them have somewhat predictable attack animations where you can see them winding up and then they go to hit and you're like, okay, I'll parry that. Other times they will spam you really quickly with attacks, but they'll also do it off note so that you can't just get into the rhythm of hitting the button 5 times in a row. You really have to like still react to how they're doing it. So yes, it is, the game, it can be very fast-paced, except for when you're fighting a very slow enemy who has, like, Dark Souls level hit animations, because there's definitely a lot of that going on, where they will spend 3 seconds winding up really slowly to do a really quick attack. So it's a little frustrating when that happens, but, yes.
Do you know how the game ends?
No, spoiled myself on like 1% of the ending.
Yeah.
I just learned like, oh man, at the end of the game, you'll have to make a choice between two characters. I don't know if that means, who lives, who dies, or if it's just like choose which person's perspective you agree with.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. And I only happened to find that because AI Overview screwed me over. I didn't need to find this out, but I was worried nonetheless because the game does not manually save. You rely on autosaves. I wanted to know if the game essentially breaks out into open world once you beat it, if you can just continue doing all the side quests, or if the game's like, no, you're done, new game plus, or you're just finished. Yeah. I wanted to know that, and in trying to find that out, found out tiny bit of the ending, which made me go home after work, spend 8 hours trying to beat the final boss, and it didn't work. Yeah, no, I'm not adjusting the difficulty though, because I have too much. It's not even self-respect. I'm stupid. But yes.
I mean, you went that far with it. Like, why not go with the final boss?
I was trying to go the entire game parrying stuff, but like some of her attacks at the level I'm at, I'm like, think between some of my characters are between like level 48 and 52. You can go all the way up to level 99. But yeah, some of her attacks, it's like, oh, you missed the parry. Everyone's dead. And what is nice about the game is because there's 5 characters, if your main party dies, you can continue it by bringing in your bench seaters.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
Problem is, though, is that the people have sitting on the bench, I'm not actively trying to make at their best.
Yeah.
So I'm bringing in very much the B team.
Yep.
So if the boss isn't like on its last leg, it's like, oh man, like you guys
no shot.
You guys like are so screwed. It's great.
Yeah. So all in all, you give it.
I give it like, I don't like giving things 10 out of 10s because that would be to say like it has no flaws, but it's a very strong 9 out of 10. And we're only halfway through the year, and I think there are plenty of other games to come out this year. But I think this game very much is a contender for Game of the Year. I think if it doesn't win Game of the Year, it will be the runner-up.
That's interesting. Are turn-based or open world more common? Or not open world, but
it's like semi-open world.
Yeah, like what is the most common to win Game of the Year, do you think? Like, is there a game style that usually wins?
Well, I think, wasn't the last year a winner Astrobots? Am I wrong on that?
I have no idea.
Well, I'm trying to remember. A Baldur's Gate winning, I think, I can't remember how long ago that came out. I think maybe 2 years ago. Mm-hmm. That winning was both surprising and not surprising because the genre of game it was definitely not what would be considered most popular, but it was just that great of a game.
Yeah.
I don't know. Games like, even though like Call of Duty comes out every year and a lot of people play it, that's never really Game of the Year. What would be? I'd have to look at it like the list of like the last 10 games of the year. But generally I would say it probably has to do with it being an indie title. I feel like indie titles in general, a great indie title I think has a good chance of winning just because it, on top of being a great game, surprises everybody. It's like, oh my god, this small game. Technically, I think Baldur's Gate's an indie game too because it doesn't have like
a big production team behind it.
Like a huge, well, not production, but like a huge publisher and stuff like that behind them. Like they had a pretty big like developing team, but they were working on that for like 5 to 6 years, and it was like their company doing it. It wasn't a AAA title, I don't think.
Gotcha. All right, so last 10 years of Game of the Year. So starting at 2010, you've got Red Dead Redemption.
Okay.
Then 2011, The Elder Scrolls V, Skyrim.
Okay.
2012 is The Walking Dead.
Okay.
They made The Walking Dead.
Telltale? Yeah. Those games were really good.
Oh, okay. 2013, Grand Theft Auto 5.
Okay.
2014, Dragon Age Inquisition. 2015, The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt.
I'm seeing a huge trend right now. Okay.
2016, Overwatch.
Okay.
2017, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild.
All right.
2018, God of War.
Yeah, I'm seeing huge. Okay. Okay.
2019, Sekiro Shadows Die Twice.
Okay.
Sorry, that was 2019. I think
Yep.
I said that. 2020, The Last of Us Part 2. 2021, It Takes Two. 2022, Elden Ring. And 2023, Baldur's Gate 3.
So in that trend, outside of maybe like Overwatch, you have games that are very story driven, and most of them pretty open world.
Mm.
Red Dead Redemption 2, Skyrim, Witcher, Elden Ring, like a lot of those games, like super open world. You can kind of go wherever you want. Never played Breath of the Wild because I don't like Nintendo, but that's also a pretty open world game. They have restrictions on where you can go, obviously. Like Witcher, if you go into an area that's really high level, you're just gonna die, but you can still go there. So yeah, I guess the trend for that would be open world game, or at least semi-open world. God of War is probably very similar to Clair Obscur in how it's still a very linear way to play the game, but there's just a tiny bit of exploration that if you commit to, you will get extra stuff. In Clair Obscur, there is very much a main path to go, but they have little like offshoots you can choose to go to, and every single time you do, you will find something. They don't bait you or anything like that. It's like, do you want to take like a minute out of your time to get this resource? You do? Okay. And if you do that throughout the entire playthrough, there's a lot of stuff to find.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I would say very much open world games that you can sink a lot of time into, which is right up your alley, and just very story driven. So people like really good narrative, like Last of Us 2. Also, not very open world, but still very story driven game. So
Clair Obscur Expedition 33.
yes,
The story seems really interesting.
yes.
Like the setup for it, where everyone dies after the age of 33 this specific year.
Mm-hmm.
Like that seems really interesting. Like a witch being like the main villain. It is a witch, right?
It's an entity called the Paintress.
Okay, yes, the Paintress. And then she paints 33, or in this case, 33, but in previous iterations, she'll paint whatever, and at whatever she paints on that big wall at the end there, the cliff, that's the age that everyone dies.
It's not random.
Okay.
It is very consistent. The game I really like with its storytelling because it does not exposit to you very much whatsoever. At least in my opinion, there's like one point where you can have a little history quiz with a guy you know to see who knows the history really well, but he asks you essentially what would be 3 very basic questions. So it's like, okay. But outside of that, it tells you in a very natural way how the world works. The way it works for that is about 67 years ago, the number on that was 100. They sent out Expedition 0. I don't know why it was called 0. They sent out Expedition 0, and from that year, it goes down 1 year every time. So at the start of the game, it's 34. Everyone who is 34 already, when that day in the year happens, gets disintegrated into petals, flower petals.
Interesting.
What's called the gommage. Game's exceedingly French. It is super French. You are gonna you're not gonna pick up French or anything like that. But like whenever everyone talks in English and kind of has accents, but as like usually whenever they swear and anything like that, it's in French, or just some of the characters are more French than others. But yes, it's a French game. So at 34, the way it works is so for that year's gommage, the highest age you will be, unless you get like really lucky, is 35. Because if you happen to be 33 before the year before's gommage, Then you like turn 34, maybe turn 35 before this Gamage. I don't know. But at the start of the game, they're on 34. It is the day of the Gamage. Everyone who's already 34 or above is dressed in what is the traditional clothing at this point, for this is their last day.
Mm-hmm.
And it plays out where the main character and a woman, I believe her name was Sophia, it was a long time ago, they used to be like kind of together, and then because of the two people they were, it didn't really work out. But for her last day, they decided to hang out. And he is later one of the people who's going to set out on Expedition 33. Generally, the expeditions are filled with people who have a year left, because they don't have a lot of time left, and but the thing that sucks with it is because of the way the Gamage works, every year that passes, the maximum lifespan goes down by 1, but it also, like, there's a character there who's essentially an adoptive sister / daughter to the main character, named Mayel, who is voiced by the same voice actress as Shadowheart in Baldur's Gate. She's 16 at the start of the game. Because of the way age works, even though the Gamage is at 33 right now, when, like, she gets Gamaged, she's going to be, like, 24.
Okay, yeah.
Because it goes down and she goes up.
Uh-huh, yeah.
Yes. For some reason, my brain was boggled by that fact when I found it out. But yes, that is how time works.
Yeah. If every year it goes down and every year you get older.
Yeah.
Yep.
So they don't super address it because you're not in, like, Lumiere for a lot of the game, but it's implied that it's a little hard to have a society where everyone kind of ends up as orphans, because your parents die very likely before you're an adult.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And it's also brings up a lot of things, like there was one part of the conversation that was brought up at a point in the game where it's like, should you even bring kids into a world where they will die very early into their life? And it's also the thing of, if you're going to have kids, should you do the morally right thing of having them as soon as possible so they have the most amount of time? If you get into a relationship and you put that off for 3 years, that's 3 years your kid's not going to have with you.
Yeah.
And in Mayel's case, I think her parents accidentally had her like 3 years before their Gamage. So
she was a mistake.
She was a surprise. Though I think her name means prince or princess. So her parents, were like, yes, even though this is going to make the last 3 years of our lives stressful. Yes. But yeah, every year, and that's been happening for like the last 60 or so years. The age cap has been going down. So society has kind of, in like very implied ways, has kind of been going down, because the older people just keep dying. You're not able to really foster the next generation when you're not around to do it. Yeah,
so it's 33 and up, right? Or is 33 like now the cap?
33 is now the cap. Like, when the Gamage for year 34 happened, everyone who was 34 and up died. The number went down. It is now, you have 1 year left. When you get to that next year, everyone who's 33 and above will die, and then it will go down to 32.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's a really interesting story. Like, so, do you know it? Because you said you don't know the ending, but do you know? Does Expedition 33 like win? Like, do they stop the Paintress?
I'm gonna go on a limb and say they do, because she's kind of the one I'm fighting right now. But it's a little bit more complicated than just the Paintress bad. And you meet a couple characters along the way. You meet one character pretty quickly who complicates the situation. I'm not going to say too much because it would be a cool game for you to play. I'm not going to
play it.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
no, I'm not
He
gonna
hates
play.
the French.
Yeah, 1000% not gonna play.
Okay, well, spoiler warning. Regardless,
Spoiler warning, you already said everyone. We've been talking for like
yeah,
a full 24 minutes about this
Yeah.
one game.
that is true. That is true. But I haven't touched base on anything you like story wise. Anything you won't find out in probably like the first 20 minutes.
Okay,
Um,
very well.
I've touched base on a couple things, but that would maybe take a little bit longer. But that's small conversation stuff. People might miss that shit because they don't pay attention. But your expedition pretty quickly gets destroyed
Yeah.
because you show up and a guy named Renoir just is like, without saying anything, just starts killing a lot of your expedition.
Is he part of your expedition?
Mm-mm.
So he was already on the island?
Yep.
Okay.
Because they're leaving. Lumiere is like an island in the ocean.
Mhm.
The main continent, they have to take a boat over to. So they took the boat over. They dropped down the continent, and he was just there with a cane. And whenever he walks with the cane, when they introduce him into the scene, you can hear it really loudly. So he shows up, and without really saying anything, he immediately decapitates like the leader of the expedition.
I thought you're the leader of the expedition.
You are not the leader. You are someone. You created something called a Lumiere converter, which is essentially a new piece of technology that is a lot of people were pretty confident would increase this expedition's chances of succeeding. But you are not like the leader of the expedition yet.
Yeah.
That was before he gets decapitated, and the enemy or the monsters in the game are called Nevrons.
They look like shell-based creatures.
They can look a lot different. Like
okay.
they can vary a lot. The ones that happen to attack you initially are a body made of hands. So they just have a bunch of hands on their face and a bunch of hand limbs. They just start killing everybody, including that guy, Renoir. And you get saved from immediately dying, and then you get knocked out, and you come to with everyone you knew dead, and your main character almost kills themselves. They're like, oh, this expedition's over. There are a lot of lines like... I can't believe I'm forgetting them. But I think it's along the lines of like, when one dies, there's always tomorrow. Like, keep going type deal. Because you got to have it's for those who come after is a big thing, because this is Expedition 33. It isn't just Expedition 33 managed to do everything. There is a big theme with generations laying the stones for the people who come after, both in Lumiere and in the game. A lot of like the save points you come across, and a lot of like the data and journals you find are the previous expeditions trying to lay the groundwork for a later expedition to eventually succeed.
Gotcha. So who's the guy like, in the beginning? Like why does he just kill everyone off cuff?
So I'm at the very end of the game, and there's something I'm not entirely sure of. Because, again, with the way the game doesn't exposit to you, you can learn some details that the game will be very obvious about, and there'll be other details where, is it what I think it is? Renoir is, in no unconfusing terms, he was a part of Expedition Zero, the very first expedition.
Oh,
wow. And he's also the father of a character you meet later named Verso. But he's immortal. So that's why when he shows up, key note, that is part of the reason the Expedition 33 got very confused and were completely caught off guard by him, aside from the fact that he's really powerful and just could have demolished them probably anyway. He looks like he's 50.
Okay.
So Expedition 33 shows up on this continent, and this guy who's clearly past the age of the gamage, they're like, how'd you live? And all that stuff, trying to communicate with him. He's at least 50. He's like super, I don't know. I'm probably being very nice about his age. But he is the dad and also the husband of the Paintress.
Ah, okay.
And it's very complicated because there's a lot of very small details that I feel like I hope I didn't miss any, because some of the dialogue of these characters implies they talk about each other but as if they've already died, which makes it weird because like the Paintress does not look like a woman.
Okay.
And there's another character who equally, when I say they don't look, like they look like hollow husks with holes in their body. Specifically their face. Their head just kind of meets where there's just a giant gaping hole in their face.
So my guy has good taste then.
Yes. Yes. But the thing that's confusing is, so Renora is Verso's dad. Verso's mom seemingly is the Paintress, unless I'm getting this wrong and she's the grandmother, but Verso's mom is seemingly the Paintress. But there's also a character named the Curator, who is seemingly the husband. I don't know. Okay. I don't know. This family tree, either the Paintress created Verso and Renora, and they are, and I've yet to learn this because I haven't defeated the Paintress yet. Either they created them, she created them because they died previously, and she's the creator. She's essentially a goddess in this sense. She recreated them and made them immortal so she could have her family. That, or I'm getting it confused and she's the grandmother, and it works its way down from there. But
so, do you know why they kill everyone?
No, that has not fully been explained yet. It hasn't been explained why the Paintress harvests people every year, or why she sets the age cap down every year as well. So she's just very quickly killing off everyone.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping to get there. So far, it looks like it's just a big family drama. And the mom, or the Paintress in this instance, happens to have very powerful powers. It has not explained how this all kicked off.
Yeah.
But, yeah. There are also characters called Gestrels, which is one of the people you can get in your party. They're just really wacky spirits, essentially, that all have, like, masks on their face. But they all look like dolls, essentially. They're walking around as like Pinocchio dolls.
Okay.
But they have like frills as hair, or they have like fur on their body. Yeah, they're kind of interesting. But yes,
Gotcha.
The game's a little weird.
I mean, the game sounds interesting.
Yes.
So, is it only through PC, or where else could you get it?
I believe it's out on, Xbox, PlayStation, PC. I believe it is. It is recommended with controller, I think. Just that's the layout they intended when they designed the game. But it should. I don't know if it's on Nintendo, but I don't care.
What do you think about the Xbox, PlayStation all going through Steam now? Like, you don't really have exclusives anymore because Steam runs on both.
That's true, but I can't remember. Is Steam on their software now? I thought Steam was on Xbox. I don't know if it's on PlayStation. I know, or were you referring to Xbox and PlayStation games being on Steam now?
Yeah, so they're all on Steam now. So Steam is on Xbox, yes. So PlayStation doesn't have exclusives anymore because anyone can play any PlayStation game on the Xbox through Steam.
Yes and no. Xbox, I don't know if they... Okay. I believe Xbox doesn't have any game exclusives anymore. They release a lot, if not all their games on PC and Xbox at the same time. Though there's the encouragement, if you're on PC, to use the Xbox app service, because if you have the Game Pass, very often you can play the game for free if you have their subscription.
Okay.
So even though it is on PC, you can get their games on Steam if you want to pay full out, or if you are already brought into the Game Pass, like monthly or yearly subscription, you could just pick up the game at no additional cost.
What do you think about the Nintendo 2?
Before I get to that,
Okay, go ahead.
PlayStation, while they do add their games to Steam, they do that after like 3 or 4 years of the game already being out.
Okay.
So, like my hype personally dies down by that point because I'm not going to wait 3 or 4 years to hear what the story's about or see a lot of the awesome like things in the game. I'm going to watch other people play it.
Yeah.
Because I have to wait 3 or 4 years. Then when the game comes out, at that point, I've seen, because I'm stupid, I've seen so much of the game repeatedly that the only thing that's going to bring me in at this point is the gameplay. And that's often not enough for me to drop $60 to $80.
How much was this game? Clair Obscur.
It was, I think, 40.
Okay.
$40. I think I bought it at 60 though because I got the deluxe edition.
Ooh. What's special about?
You just get some extra stuff.
It's got onions, green pepper, sauce.
Yeah. You get like some extra costumes. It might have added DLC. I'm gonna be honest. I was pretty sure I was gonna like the game just based on the very limited things that I'd heard about it. So I was like, I'll just buy the best edition. Fuck it, I'll give them some money. But
they deserve it.
They deserve it. They're a small indie company or something. I don't know. No, if I really like a game, I'll buy the most expensive version. I also bought their statue. As soon as it went up on pre-order, I was like, it's essentially just a statue of the Rock that says 33 on it.
Oh, okay.
But I was like, fuck it, I like this game. I only had like 5 hours at that point in the game. But I was like, yeah, I'll do it. Nintendo 2, waste of money, don't get it.
Switch 2? Okay.
That's my opinion. Because you're dropping $450 to buy a system that right now you can, I think, only play Mario Kart on, which, hey, that's cool.
No way.
Like, okay, to be clear, you can play other games too, but the only reason you'd want a Switch 2, the only reason you'd need a Switch 2 is to play Mario Kart. Because that, to my knowledge, was the only new game that required you, at the time it came out, it's the only new game that required you to have a Switch 2 to play it. So everyone doing that, hey, more power to you if you like it. I think that's stupid, though. This is coming from a guy who's dropped thousands of dollars on Warhammer minis and just admitted to, like, buying the deluxe edition and a pre-order statue for a game I had 5 hours in at the time. Nintendo 2 is a waste of money, in my opinion. Now, if you're super casual, look, more power to you. If you want to play, just ignore everything I'm saying. If you like Nintendo, that's awesome. I didn't grow up with them, so I have no reason to like them now. They did not give me a better childhood than I already had. So,
how's your Necrons doing? Like, how is your you painting them up? You put them together?
I got my Night Scythe painted, but I'm questioning whether, like, I got it painted to the point where I'm like, it is now sitting on top of my dresser. Boom, I could play it. Problem is that the Night Scythe as an aircraft in the game, aircrafts are pretty dog shit right now in the game.
Okay.
So it's like, I painted it because I wanted to paint it, I wanted to build it, I wanted to play it. But if I were to play it, it would very likely get killed immediately, and it would probably be a waste of points. So I got it painted, though. I have a stack that is probably, how high is this, would you say?
Maybe 3 feet.
3 feet. 3 feet stack of boxes of unbuilt Necrons. And I might buy more tonight if they happen to have more Locust Heavy Destroyers at Fantasy. But I haven't been building any Necrons really the last 2 weeks because of Clair Obscur being out, which I've only really been playing on my days off. Because it's a reaction-based game, I can't afford. Yeah, I can't afford to come home from an 8-hour shift and go, yeah, let's fucking waste time missing all these fucking parries. So usually I've been waiting until a day off, which means I'm only playing it from Tuesday to Thursday. Other than that, I've been playing Satisfactory with Tyler, which is really awesome.
So what's Satisfactory?
It's a first-person factory building game, similar to Factorio in the genre, but very different in gameplay. In Factorio, resources are limited, but the numbers can get so big that they're practically infinite, and it's top-down, and, there's, like, base defense and stuff like that. Satisfactory, the resources are actually limited, but the map is, I forget, it's not procedurally generated. It's the same map every time. The nodes are always in the same place. They're infinite, but there's a limited resources. There's a limited number of nodes. So
What are nodes like? In
nodes
this game?
are like where you get the resources, like an iron node.
Okay, gotcha.
Or copper or limestone quartz, such as that.
Is it? I'm assuming it's not really a story-based game. It's kind
Satisfactory?
Yeah.
Very much not. Factorio and Satisfactory are not story-based games, but they are like open factory building games. Whereas in Factorio, when you're building a really big base, you have to build outward because there's no like vertical scalability. Satisfactory, there is vertical scalability, so it just offers like a different experience to someone who would play other factory building games. It's pretty cool. It's just build a big factory, build the shit that you need to progress to the later parts of the game.
Is it a game that you win, or is it it's ongoing?
There is an overall objective, but it's not like super it's not really the biggest focus. Like when you beat the game, when you progress to the final part and like build the items you need to build and submit them, I don't think there's like a huge huzzah or anything. It's like you did it. Nice job. You beat it. And from there you can just keep building the factory, or you can call it quits and be like, I have completed the overarching objective.
How long would you say from 0 to finishing the overall objective?
If you were trying to speedrun it, or not even speedrun, if your main focus was I'm just trying to build these items and that's it.
Yeah, like main quest focus.
Probably like 20 to 40 hours, maybe 50. Like if that is just your main objective, you're not really bothering on building anything you don't need to. You're not worrying about the looks or anything like that. If it's just purely trying to get the main objective done, I'd say like 40 hours at worst. Thing is, I like to make my shit look nice. So I think the last like 15 hours I played with Tyler, it's just been me building an aesthetically pleasing rail system that I don't even have a train on yet. Because I want my factory to look nice. My factory hasn't even really been on for the last 15 hours. I was like the farthest ahead in terms of progress, and then I just stopped to do other stuff.
So is it a 2-person game?
It can be up. It's by default capped at 4. You can very easily just alter the setting to have, I think, up to 16 people.
Jeez.
But it's not super recommended for the game. The game's not balanced around it, so like if your games are crashing or just like lagging or anything like that, you have too many people.
Yeah.
Too many people doing too many things. But it can be up to 4 players normally, and it is a team game. Very much. It's not intended to be like, okay, there's 4 people, everyone split up and go do their own thing.
Mm-hmm.
You can do that on the map, but the game doesn't fully support it because there's a building called the Hub, which is where you submit resources to get upgrades, but it's also where you respawn if you die. You can only have one of those. So you could place it in the center of the map, and all 4 players could go to each like 4 corners of the map. If they die, they got to run all the way back to their shit. They can't have like their own personal spawn point or anything like that. I think it is intended to be a 4-person cooperative thing, but I don't play very well with others when it comes to making things look the way I want them to look.
Yeah, Keaton doesn't play with others. No, that checks out.
Yeah. I try, it just doesn't work out, and I'm sorry. But.
So how do you die? Like if you're building a factory, is it like you have a factory fire kind of thing?
You can die from fall damage, which is very possible in that game. But outside of that, there are things that want to kill you, and exploration is part of the game. When you go
bugs? Is it bugs?
There's giant spiders that will jump at you from really far away. And the region I went to, which was the swamp, I chose to go to because it wasn't a spawn area. We happened to start this most recent playthrough with 5. It's just me and Tyler at this point, but we started with 5. There were 4 spawn points. So I was like, okay, I'm going to leave first. I'm going to go do my own thing first. 3 of the 5 people, other than me and Tyler, haven't really played the game that much. So I'm going to let them all have spawn points. And if Tyler wants a spawn point, he can have it too. I'm going to go to the swamp, which is not a normal starting point. It's actually one of the worst places to be at the start of the game because it has so many spiders. So many spiders. and the spiders are really hard to kill early game. So you just have to do your very best to avoid them, or you can spend like 5 minutes walking back after you die, and then hope you can grab your stuff, which is usually on the ground next to the spiders.
Is it like a shooter? Like, do you shoot them to death? Or
You can get guns, but you can get like a rebar gun fairly early on, but it's essentially like a one in the chamber type gun that you have to keep reloading, and it doesn't do the most damage. Other than that, you essentially have a stun baton that you can get a bigger one for that does more damage. But usually you're fighting the spiders with, at that point in the game, like at best a rebar gun. I think it's intended by the time you're dealing with them normally, you have the actual gun.
Yeah.
Which you can get different ammos for. But that's like, I don't even think Tyler and I have that right now. Like, we're about to get it, but we're like 100. The server tracks it based on people playing. The server right now is at like 120 hours played, and I think I'm half of those because when we decided we were going to play the game, it was like, okay, guys, we're going to separate. The intention is we're going to separate here. So if some of us are getting on when not everyone else is on, that's fine because it's separate progress.
Yeah.
So I was getting on it like every day for a couple days, and other people weren't getting on that much. And I was like, okay, well, I guess, okay, I'm going to get really far ahead, and other people are either going to get on and try and catch up, or they're going to probably stop playing because they're falling behind.
Is there, like, so are you guys working together in the sense to try to beat the game, or was it just like, let's fuck around and find out kind of thing?
The idea was we'd all separate. At each phase and upgrade, you need to have like a specific number of like higher tier items built. The only purpose for these items is to build them for this purpose. They don't have separate uses. The idea was we'd all separate. We'd all progress on our own. But when it came to building those items, we would all send our share of them to the main area, and then we'd all contribute that way. That was the idea. It fell apart pretty quickly because I separated. One person stopped playing. One person decided to just build... the place we spawned before spawns, he just started building a lot there, and it got really, like, spaghetti. And then another person went off to another spawn, but they didn't really play that much. And then Tyler chose to go to a spot right next to me, which is also not a starter spot, but it has, like, a lot of coal and oil nodes, so we could have like a lot of power in the mid game.
Nice. Do you die a lot in the game?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, not anymore. But definitely early on when I was setting up my base, because of the way I had, instead of just having a floating bridge between my main base and my power setup, I would ride power lines. I have both of those floating high enough in the air that the spiders can't get to them.
Mm-hmm.
But the power lines that I had set up that I can ride on are on ground level. So every time I go down there, I risk dying to poison and a spider. And I died a lot. Back then. Less now, but I still manage to die from fall damage every now and then because I'm not paying attention to how much fuel's in my jetpack. And I just happen to be really high in the air when it runs out. It's not good.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Any other games you've been playing lately, or any other stuff you've been spending time on?
Well, let's see. Space Marine 2 is going to get a Horde mode here later this month. That's going to be really exciting and probably get me back into it. Space Marine 2 being one of the Warhammer games.
Oh.
Yeah.
What? Space Marine 2 is a Warhammer game?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Warhammer Space Marine 2, yeah.
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 Okay.
So that's going to get a Horde mode, which I really like Horde modes. So I'm really excited for that. You probably didn't watch the Xbox showcase.
No. I don't even know what that is.
Did you ever play Gears of War when you were younger?
Yes. It was someone else's,
Mm-hmm.
and I played for maybe like 30 minutes.
Okay.
I wanted to get it. Like, I asked my mom to get it, and she told me no.
Understandable. A very gory game.
Yeah, because that was when it first came out, is when I had the opportunity.
I grew up a little bit. It was mainly not Gears of War, but there was a period of my life for maybe a year where I was playing like Gears 2, and then another year where I was playing Gears 3. Gears 2, I think it's either Gears 2 got an announcement, a remaster announcement, or it was Gears 1 through 3 got a like all-in-one remaster announcement. But that coming to PC is going to be really exciting because those horde modes were really fun to play. At least back then. Maybe I'll think they're a waste of time now. But that got a remaster that I might look into. Other games I'm actually playing though.
I've got one.
You got a game?
I played a game.
Oh my god! What game?
I played Oblivion.
Ooh, like the remaster?
No, Oblivion from the Xbox 360.
Oh.
It's compatible with our Xbox One.
Nice.
So I was able to play it.
Nice.
I got a few quests in, and I was like, all right, I did this. And then I turned it off, and then I turned it on again. I was going to play it a second time, and I got to the load screen, and I just wasn't feeling it. I turned it off.
I feel that. I bought the remaster of Oblivion, played it, got a few quests done, feeling good. Haven't played it since.
The gameplay's not as good right now. I feel like games have progressed enough now that it's just not that good. Like having a sword in one hand and then a spell in the other. Or no, I'm sorry. This one actually doesn't even have that. It's because you have your weapon and then your spell is actually a separate button. I don't know.
It's a separate button. I don't really like the difference from that either. I think that's just an Elder Scrolls problem. I think that gameplay design wise, they've updated it, I think, through every game. I'm not going to deny they haven't done that, but the core idea of you just being a guy with two things in your hand at best, and you just swinging them, alternating swings, I would definitely say, that kind of gameplay has gotten aged. It's aged a little poorly.
Yeah.
And it doesn't help that you were playing the older version of the game. I feel like you would have felt that much stronger if you played the remaster and you were still getting those feelings. But
maybe. Yeah. But yeah, no, I got through the whole little first labyrinth, and I got through a few of the main quest parts, and it was cool. It was nice to do again. I went into Oblivion, and I went into whatever the gates are, to hell or whatever.
Oblivion gates?
Yeah. Yes. But, so I did some of that stuff, and it was cool. But that's the only game I've played for quite some time.
You gotta play Witcher. You gotta play some more Witcher.
Maybe. We'll see. The thing is that Becca actually told me about it the other day. She was like, I figured it out. I was like, what? She was like, you're just not a gamer. And I was like, yeah. And she's like, no, but you do stuff physically. You don't even like to watch TV and stuff anymore. If you're not physically doing something, it's not enjoyable for you. And I was like, yeah, I guess. That's one of the reasons, I don't like watching sports. I've never been into it. Even UFC and stuff like that. I've never been that into watching it. I'd rather fight someone. I'd rather play basketball and I suck at basketball. I'd rather play football and I suck at football. I would just prefer to play the sport. But when you're old, or you know what I'm saying, when you're older, it's not as I'm not gonna go play a game of pickup. I'm an old fat man. You know what I mean? I remember I did play a game of pickup basketball at the rec, and I got destroyed. I was the only one gassed, just breathing hella heavy. All these kids were just like, "Are you all right?" And I'm just like,
I don't know. You are more active than me, even if you aren't getting gassed at pickup. I'm very much the same way in that I don't really, in terms of sports and stuff, I don't really like watching that. If I watch something, I'll watch a movie every now and then, but I like to be doing something actively, physically taking up my time, but also mentally taking up my time, which is usually video games.
Yeah.
Though with Warhammer also, that's why I'll have like a video up to occupy me mentally while I'm also building stuff.
Mm.
Maybe I should bring a box. Maybe I should buy like a box of minis, and sometime like we can build it and see if you have any enjoyment when it comes to that.
That sounds cool.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm thinking. Yeah, I'm thinking of getting some more minis for somebody. Thinking about buying it for them for a birthday present. They don't really like it's Michael. I don't know. Like I don't know why I'm being super secret about. I'm thinking about getting minis for his birthday.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't. I don't think he has any interest in building them, and I think he also doesn't want to have to paint them. So I'm thinking about getting him some minis that he's been putting off for a couple months to get, and then building them and possibly painting them.
Oh, nice.
I don't know. I asked him to double check for probably the 5th time in the last couple months. Like, what do you need to get your army to like 2,000 points?
What's his army right now?
He's Tau, which is essentially like bug dudes who their army is really centered around long range weaponry. So they're just really good at shooting you from really far away. Bug and dudes, ideally, they never have to engage in you in melee to beat you. They have a very interesting team. It's also a really small model count team where it's usually mechs. It's a mecha like ranged army.
Mecha bugs.
Yes.
Interesting.
But yeah, I was thinking about getting him some models so that he can hit like the ideal army size, so he can start playing games with us because he hasn't played Warhammer match with us in a while because he doesn't have a full army. And he's been spending money on other things and just doesn't have enough for it on him.
I got you.
Yeah.
Have you been watching anything interesting lately? Like any anime or any TV?
I think I watched I didn't torrent it, but I watched it on an illegal website. Have you seen Sinners recently? With
No.
Michael B. Jordan?
No, but I've seen shorts on it, and I'm actually interested in watching it.
It's a little weird.
Yeah.
But,
it's vampire, right?
Yeah. Spoiler. Yes. It's a little weird, and I say weird in the sense that, like, it takes place in a time period very different from ours. It also just... It's a very different culture. People act very differently to what I do, specifically.
Is it supposed to be our time frame? I thought it was supposed to be like the American West.
It's like it is the American West, where I think like there are still plantations.
Yeah,
but it's not necessarily slavery. But it's just around that time where like the Ku Klux Klan is still like kind of around, and racism's abundant.
Yeah,
or at the very least, it's not abundant in the movie, but it's like we stick to our own kind type deal.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it was a great movie. And I don't even know why I say otherwise. It was a great movie.
Yeah.
It felt unfamiliar.
I got you.
Watching that movie.
Yeah, no, that is one that I'm actually interested in watching. I originally wasn't I saw like some video and it just like kind of came up and I was like, that looks weird. I just kind of kept going. But I've seen like a few more and I was like, yeah, right. You got my attention. So yeah, maybe sometime, which I've had more time. I'm back like to where I was like, hey, I'm going to have free time again. I'm back to actually having some free time again.
Nice.
It's probably going to be spent doing stuff like this. So spending more time on the podcast.
Oh, yeah.
But I'll show you, we completely tore that bathroom apart, the downstairs one.
Awesome.
It's literally an empty room with just the toilet. And then the upstairs bathroom is fully reset. The only thing is I haven't hooked up the sink drain out yet.
Okay.
So that's the last thing I got to do. And then my upstairs bathroom is totally done.
Nice.
And yeah. So almost there. And then if you see my garage, there's a strip all across the ceiling to the side of the walls because Becca wanted to make an extra plug-in, like an electrical plug-in.
Outlet?
Yeah, an outlet. Thank you. Yeah, she wanted an extra outlet on the other side of the garage. So I had to cut that out of the wall so we could run the line through and set it up.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent.
And then she bought a bunch of pallets because she wants to make a bigger garden stuff in the back. So that's going to be some of my Sundays. And her car, the van, it's leaking on the top roof again. So I've got to reseal it. So yeah,
Busy guy.
fun stuff. But that's more free time than I had because originally it was like we have no bathroom. I cannot shower. Like there was like emergencies that I had to fix. I don't have emergencies now. I can like fix these up at my own pace. So
Gotcha. That's great. That's
yeah,
great.
I much prefer that.
Oh.
But like I watched some more Mukosu Tensei, which we've talked about. He grows a lot. I will say the character development, I'm actually pretty surprised by it. But like we've talked about in the past, I didn't read the manga. So I don't know if the manga has more creepy pedo stuff like you discussed.
I would not be surprised.
Because the anime doesn't. Like it's not like that extreme.
I would not be surprised if they've outright removed some of the more unnecessary instances of pedophilia.
Yeah, it's still creepy. Like, don't get me wrong. A lot of it's still hella creepy.
And the thing is, too, from what I've heard, is that even with all the character growth, here's my additional problem with it. Even with all the character growth and all the trials and tribulations he goes through that you could either say he's going through because of his previous problems, or as just a test to make him worthy for what he wants, the narrative still kind of is just like, yeah, it's okay to have 18 wives. Like, yeah,
he gets married to 2 women by the end of the season. So he's officially an adult. Mm-hmm. He's like, I mean, he's 17 or 18, which
2 so far.
Correct.
Yeah.
Like it could be more, but it was like an ordeal to get the 2 in the sense of like he was like, look, like I'm sorry, like I had told you I was gonna like not cheat and stuff like that. Yeah, it's the whole thing.
It just seems like super wish fulfillment with this because it's like he's like, look, I was gonna be faithful. I just happen to have women wanting to marry me, and it's like, what are you gonna do, you know? And then he has to hope they all are just super happy about it, and it all works out. It's just like it would be normal amounts of wish fulfillment. That is still too much, but it would be normal amounts if he was just a dude. He was like, you know, like, yeah, I like women. Now I got multiple wives.
Yeah.
The fact that he's like pretty terrible person in the beginning, and it's like he goes through all these things that make him grow, but it's like at the end of the day, it's like he gets the dream that like older him would have wanted still, where he's surrounded by women, some of which probably a little underage relative to him.
One. So one of them is underage. She's 15. Creepy.
Yep.
Like creepy.
Yep.
He's younger in this world. But like we've talked about, it's not like your previous, you know, that doesn't go away.
Yeah, like he didn't have a mental like reset.
Yeah.
When he was a baby, he was already like 20 to 30 years old mentally. And it's like,
so he actually wasn't that old. It wasn't that long after he left high school. So he actually wasn't in his 30s yet. Still like, still like old enough
he's old enough to know that like, hey, the age range I should be attracted to should not be in school.
Yep.
Or anywhere near that. So yeah, then you add on however many years that he's lived in this new world up to that point before meeting her. And it's like, okay, so you're like mentally 35.
Yep.
And she's 15.
Creepy.
There we are.
I agree. It's not a good look.
It's not a good look at all.
Yep. But she's the only one. The other one is a demon who's very old and looks young.
Yeah, excellent. The perfect scapegoat. Guys, trust me, she might look like she's 12, but she's been around for a couple millennia.
Yep.
They're a match for each other because they're both so mentally old.
And then the other one's an elf. So it's a demon and an elf.
Yeah, and how old's the elf again? How old does the elf look?
She's young. The elf is young. Like, she's excellent. Genuinely, like, she's, I think, his age in it. So she's like 19 when they get married.
Depending on how elves are handled in, like, that universe, that's worse.
She's half human, half elf.
Okay. Well, okay, but what I'm bringing up is, like, in a lot of media, and if this isn't true for this is like one penalty it won't get.
Yeah.
Elves live a really long time. And oftentimes in media that involve elves generally do not have a lot of kids because they're so long living.
She's pregnant.
Excellent, bro. Excellent. My whole thing is, like, even if they were both 18, for an elf, like, if elves work a similar way in that show, she's like 4.
In this, she grew normal. Like, she's
she
normal.
She grew normally,
age.
but, like, mentally compared to other elves, she's a child.
They actually don't have a lot of elves in this. Like, there's
that might feed to that, or it might not. I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I don't know. Speaking of elves, I watched Frieren. I didn't watch all of it.
Okay.
But I did watch the first, like, few episodes. It's really slow.
No, it is.
Like, I do like that it's off the beaten path, kind of. Like, it shows you from the perspective of someone who has an exceedingly long life. Like, you don't have to rush everywhere.
Yeah.
Because you're going to live for such a long time.
It sucks because she is also lazy a little bit.
Super.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's never a rush. Like, the human girl keeps growing, and she's like, can we not spend years trying to find a fucking flower? Like, that shit was hilarious.
Yeah.
And she was like, you're upset. She's like, yeah, I don't want to be here. Like, this is literally half of my life.
Yeah, fucking. Yeah, I really like that show. I think season 2 got announced, though I know the manga isn't finished. So if season 2 comes out, that might be it for a little while.
Yeah.
But yes, I really like it because it's also, like, usually when you see a show, it's during the adventure. This show takes place after the adventure. So she is in a post-adventure world doing a little bit of side quest cleanup and otherwise just, like, chilling.
Yeah, going on another adventure now, I guess, like going back to the place.
But it's like, I don't even know if this is like a main quest type adventure either. It's just like, it still feels like a side quest. She's just like, hey, I'm going over there
to be fair to her, it even like the main quest that everyone else felt like exactly.
Yeah.
She was like, yeah, that's not a long time. And they're like, we spent a decade together. And she's like, yeah.
Yeah, she didn't appreciate it then.
Yes, correct. She definitely makes it seem like she appreciates a lot more. She really misses the hero.
What was his name? It wasn't. It started with an H, but I can't remember.
But yeah, no, it's definitely interesting. It's a little slow. It's very slow, but still pretty interesting.
The Overlord movie might be out on digital services at this point.
Ooh.
Like, I know it came out like October or November or something, so I imagine it has to be viewable at some point. I probably might go watch it either tonight or tomorrow.
All right. Let me know where you find it.
Yeah, I will. At worst, I'll find it on like 9 Anime or something like that. But I'll see if it's on a digital service that isn't like Apple TV.
I got you.
Have you seen any clips of like the show that has sec units and stuff like that? It's about an android that essentially finds mental like free will or whatever.
Oh, Murderbot show?
Murderbot, yes.
Yeah.
Have you been watching?
Wait, it's not clips. Anime?
No,
it's live action.
Show. Yeah.
Okay. Just clips. Okay. So I've only seen clips of it. Not a lot either. Like, it'll come up, and I'm like, oh, that seems interesting.
I think it's on Apple TV, so you have to watch it on there, which you just don't, I think, which sucks. That's another show I kind of want to watch, so I might try and find it on a different website.
I gotcha. I'm really interested, like, speaking of Apple TV, Ted Lasso. I really want to watch Ted Lasso. It's the soccer show.
Oh, okay. I've seen clips from it. Is that Is that the one where a lot of people are like British or they're European?
Yeah, it's in England. Like so basically you have two American guys who go to England and they become a coach for like I don't know if it's like considered a minor league team, but it's a professional team, but they're not like the highest level. Like they're the next level down, I think. And essentially these guys have never coached soccer. So they're literally learning soccer while coaching a professional team. And yeah, it's seems really interesting. I've watched a lot of clips on it. And I watched the first episode because I could watch that one for free. But yeah, I'm very interested in that one.
Some of the characters I've seen it in a couple of the clips I have found interesting, but some of the characters I've seen in it seem very strongly one note. Just like, I don't know, like one dimensional, like super like one dimensional character. I don't know. It hasn't made me want to watch it too much, so I haven't really passed it. But I've seen some funny clips in that too.
Yeah, I like it. There's not a lot of TV shows with like a strong male lead who's not an asshole, like a good father figure, kind of like, you know what I'm saying? Like I would say like you've got Modern Family, which is Phil is like a good father. You've got like Ted Lasso, which I can't say he's a good father in it. He's a good father figure to his like team, but he left his kid in America. So like I can't say that's a good dad.
Yeah, he's a good father to somebody, just not his kid.
Exactly. I can't even say like that's all I got. Like I don't have a lot of live action good fathers that isn't like Disney. Like
Last of Us.
Joel?
Yeah.
Isn't he like an asshole to Ellie or whatever her name is?
Like that's when they initially meet each other because it's like 20 years post-apocalypse and Ellie's an asshole as well. Yeah. So they're first meeting each other and it's the assholes collide. But like I would say he's a good father with his previous daughter and he's a pretty good father once he starts realizing he wants to take care of her.
And then he dies.
Spoiler. I haven't seen season 2 yet. I've kind of been avoiding it. You remember Jack from Domino's? Yeah. He like very recently I don't know what is mentally wrong with him. He is so stupid. But
he's doing great in school. He's crushing college right now.
I don't know how that's fucking possible.
He's a smart kid, I'm telling you.
Not socially, because I don't think I don't know if anyone likes hanging out with him. But he just sent me like a one-off like. You remember he hates Bella Ramsey? Do you remember he hates her? He just hates
I remember him bringing that up one time. Yeah.
He's just like, man, I would punch her.
Yeah, I remember.
It was like, why? Like, why? She's like a child actress. Like, why would you? I don't know. Like, because she's been in Last of Us 2, he like sent me a stupid like picture that was just essentially like, man, she's so ugly. Like, it was just like, I don't know what is wrong with that guy. Like, I do not know. It.
Oh man, yeah.
Reminded me talking about Last of Us 2. Yeah, Last of Us 2. While he does die like pretty quickly, like he's still a good father because you can see what was shown, what was done off screen. You can see like the lessons that like he's kind of taught Ellie.
Yeah.
And you can see the impact he's had on Ellie. So I would still say yes, Joel.
Yeah.
Even though he's a terrible human being, he's a good father.
Very well. Any other ones you can think of?
I almost said Shrek, but no. A good father figure.
Tough, huh?
Oh well, Claire. Oh, that's not. Damn, that's not the show. Oh yeah, I haven't watched too many shows. Rick, Walking Dead, I'd say was a good father.
Yeah.
And to an extent, Shane.
Yeah, and I guess, yeah.
To an extent, even though he was like, your boy's weak.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I mean, you know. Just,
you gotta call it out.
Not wrong. Not wrong.
He changed.
He did.
Until he took a bullet to the eye.
Yeah. He took a bullet to the eye for that change, but he got there. Well, he was getting there a little bit before that, too. He did just shoot a kid. He shot a kid that was surrendering to him in the face.
As he should.
Yeah, as he should. But yeah, I don't know. I guess there aren't that many good father figures.
Right? Like, I don't know. Like, it just hit me the other day. I was just like, man, there's not a lot of these. Like,
I'm trying to think. I feel like there's one I'm missing, but
like I thought of like Yellowstone.
I can't watch Yellowstone.
Like, not exactly a good dad. Like, branded his kid because he got a girl pregnant. Like, that's pretty crazy.
Branded his kid. I don't watch Yellowstone. It feels like it's testosterone times 300%, and it's like here's the most masculine version of all these men, including all the terrible masculine traits.
Yeah, it's great.
And yeah,
I didn't watch all of it. I watched the first few seasons, and I enjoyed it. Like, I really liked Yellowstone. Yeah.
From a lot of the clips I've seen, it just seems like every guy, and to an extent, some of the women in that show have some of the worst traits you'd ever find in a person, and they seem like the most prominent characters that also are in charge. So it's like Beth. I don't think I've seen a single good clip about Beth. Every single clip, she is just the worst person in the room, and it's like, what the fuck are we doing? I've heard her backstory.
That holds pretty true.
Yeah, I've heard a whole backstory for why she's like that, and it's like, look, that sucks. But you're like a terrible person. I don't think this. I don't think this is a what is it?
Warranted.
A warranted response.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. Like, I mean, I can't imagine what that's like as far as, because in the situation, she got pregnant. Her brother took her to like an abortion clinic, but the abortion clinic was like, we'll only see her, but here, like, we have to like twist their tubes.
Hysterectomy.
Yeah. So you're done. Like, you can't have any kids after this.
I don't think it was the twisted tubes. I think they like took the tubes.
Yeah, correct.
You can untwist the tubes.
Yeah,
and stuff
correct.
Like that.
So they like take it out.
Yeah.
And so she goes through that, and she trusted her older brother to help her, and then he kind of fucked her over, and she never got over that. But yeah, no, she's terrible. Like,
she just takes it out on everybody at that point.
Yeah, she is genuinely terrible. And Rick is great.
That's her husband?
Yes.
I feel like he's one of the problem characters because he's just like granted, he's the solutions guy from all the clips I've seen. Like, every time he shows up, the problem gets fixed.
Correct.
Which I feel like is like super, like, I don't know if I like that, just in like, it feels like the stereotypical strong masculine guy that just shows up
fixer.
And gets it done, but he also acts in all these super masculine ways. Like if it feels like every solution has to be the same thing. It's like, oh, I showed up and there's a problem here. It's either going to get fixed or it's going to get its ass beat.
Yeah.
There's no in between. He has granted, like, half measures are one thing, but like, there are no other solutions from what I've seen. It's always like,
we got to kill him.
You got to kill him. You got to beat his ass, take him to the train yard or whatever.
Yeah. The train station, 100%.
Yeah. It's like, okay, dude. Like,
but then, to be fair though, in their show, it shows a guy who they don't take care of like that, and he ends up coming back and biting them in the ass. So like, I don't know.
Sure, but like,
it's pretty funny though, as far as the show. It's just, like, yeah, it's very aggressive.
It just feels roided up. Everyone in there is just on full steroids and is so aggressive.
To be fair though, if I go to like Texas, like, there's a lot of people like that, depending on where you go. Like, you go to like deep Montana, like, that is truly the culture, is like, we're gonna beat the shit out of people. We don't deal with words.
I think that just shows like a mental, like, fucking, like, gap. Like, they stopped growing up when they were 15, and that's it. Like, granted, I'm not about to take the approach of like, words solve all problems.
Yeah.
Not about to take that approach at all. But if, like, and granted, I've only seen clips. If they've solved problems through just talking it out, then boom.
Very rarely.
But I feel like if you are constantly running into problems where your solution to it is to beat the shit out of it, then either you need to sit down and think about how you solve these problems, or you need to sit down and think how you guys keep running into problems with this is the solution.
It reminds me of like the same coin as like really aggressive white guy versus like gangs, like really aggressive black guys. Like it reminds me of like this, like the same coin but different sides. Like, oh yeah, we can't deal with stuff through words. Like we gotta throw down and we gotta take people out. Like that's a real thing depending
Sure,
for where you go. Like
I'm
that's a very real way of life.
I'm not denying that is like that sometimes at least is going to be the solution. It's like words are not going to work if both people aren't willing to use them. At the same time, though, it feels like every single time they're ever involved with a problem, it's like words are never an option. And at that point, it's like, I don't know if I'm like, okay, like, how are you guys finding yourselves in this situation? Like, surely if you guys were better at what you do, you wouldn't find yourself in a situation when ass beating is the solution every time. It's like, at that point, I think they're part of the problem. I mean, Beth is definitely part of the problem.
No, definitely. Beth is for sure. She gets wild in that show.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I can't watch it because of that. It feels like it just feels like a show made for people with like the alpha mentality or whatever.
That's why I liked it so much.
It's just like, yeah, I gotta be top dog. When Rick shows up, he's like, yeah, I'm the best, and I'm gonna beat your ass if you stepped out of line.
Yeah, dude, he was
if
the
you
best.
didn't step out of line, I'm still gonna give you a very stern talking to, because you were in the area that someone else fucked up.
Hell yeah. Hates killing horses, but he'll kill a guy without a second thought.
This horse is so beautiful, and then boom, train station. You guys are all going to the train station.
Yeah, man. There's a point where he throws a lunchbox, like he opens it up and a rattlesnake.
Yeah, throws a rattlesnake at a dude.
That dude's face.
Yeah, it's like,
I was like, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm just sitting here like, Rick, you're fucking stupid, dude.
Literally, it's because they tried to buy the ranch. Like that's like my man tried to kill him.
I'm so offended by you trying to buy us out.
He's part of a like conglomerate that is trying to purchase the land forcibly, and he's like, "We don't have the money. We gotta just kill them all." And so they're like, "We're going to war," but then the company is like, "I guess we're gonna have to take it like how we did back in Iraq," and they just start sending like their own military to take people down. Like it's a whole thing.
It's fucking so extra. Jesus.
Imagine a normal business sending a SWAT team to kill someone in the States. You know what? Low key, I wouldn't be surprised on some of these places, but for like a normal venture capitalist company, that's insane.
It feels like a whole nother world. Like living in the country is definitely different from living like in a like city, but like it feels what's the word? Primitive.
Mm.
I don't know. I don't like it. Hey, I don't know. That's one stupid man's opinion.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Yeah, I don't know.
But, hell yeah. All right, I think we're ready to wrap it.
Okay,
Any final thoughts?
You're not gonna play it, but Clair Obscur, definitely play it. Or just, I think the story's already a little confusing for me playing it, so you probably just can't. I don't think it's a watchable game.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. Vote for it. I'm gonna let you know when it's being nominated and vote for it.
Okay. I've never voted for a single game.
It's super easy. You just pull up Steam and it's like, oh, vote for your favorite games, and you can just vote.
Is that part of who wins Game of the Year?
On Steam it is.
Oh, okay.
The Game of the Year stuff, they have their own website, which I could also link you to when that happens. And that's like, it's for a bunch of stuff, including like vote for your favorite esports player and stuff like that. But yeah, those are separate. A lot of the awards, like there's the official one, and then there's like the Steam one, where it's just games specifically on Steam. I'll probably link you both. But yes, vote for Clair Obscur unless there's another really good game. But I don't think there's gonna be. Like Clair Obscur, from the last 10, like from 2010 to 2020 of those games, like Clair Obscur, I think fairly fits into like 7 of those.
Okay. So it matches those like game style?
It matches the trend that people consider to be game of the year. So it's not as open world as some of those games, but like God of War 1, for being a very strong narrative between a good dad, good maybe.
Yeah, I was like, good dad's a stretch.
Yeah, maybe. But dad and his son, very heavily story-driven game with a very linear world with a tiny bit of exploration. That's very much Clair Obscur.
Hmm.
So yeah, no,
Gotcha. Do you think? Sorry. Do
no,
you
you're good.
think that Solo Leveling should have won as many awards as they did?
No, no.
Did you think they stole it from Freerin? Do you think Freerin should have won a few?
I accept that Frieren is not for everybody, and the main audience for the genre of solo leveling is the same audience for like Naruto. It's
Mhm.
just the years apart. Boys specifically,
Boys.
boys specifically, really like for the past couple like age groups, really like those genres where
Yeah.
it's super cool dude that fights and does all this other shit, and women just like him. It didn't really apply to Naruto, but women just like him. I think that's maybe more of a new trend, at least in terms of like how often it's happening in anime, where just women are falling all over him,
Yeah.
and he's just oblivious to it. But I when it comes to anime, I don't really care about that stuff because it very much is just going to come down to whichever one is most popular with kids. Frieren is better though. It's unfortunate.
Did you watch Solo Leveling anime?
I don't think I finished the first season. I watched the first like half of it. I'm like, this is all right. It has like fighting and stuff, and the animation's fairly good. But like, I'm reminded that this guy is like kind of an asshole. Like, at least in this just sense of like, I don't have to like. I don't fully believe in like the with great power comes great responsibility like bullshit. But like, when you're that strong, you also don't like let 9/11 happen, and you're like, oh man, it didn't happen in Korea, so we're okay. It's like, okay, dude, like you could have done something about it, and you didn't. So you waited until the last moment to do anything about it.
Oh, you're talking about the ant
Talking
arc?
about Anarch, he's like, yeah, I'm gonna sit this one out until like most everyone is dead, and then I'm gonna have my cool entrance and
I can't remember. It was different from the manhwa than it was in the anime.
I wouldn't doubt that.
But I can't remember the differences now. It's been a while since I've read it, and I'm probably not going to go back to read it for at least like a few years because I read it like 3 times.
Yeah, I have no doubt because the changes I am aware of, they made some of which they made to just make him seem like less of an asshole, less of an intentional.
I feel
asshole.
like seems like more of an asshole.
Oh, then that I feel like they're not really succeeding at what they're doing because I remember when he was it was at the very beginning of season 2, I think, where he was trapped in the snow realm with the snow elves. And they changed that whole part where he is intentionally putting that like A class tank. He was intentionally baiting him and putting him in a place where he would be fully justified to kill him.
Yeah.
So that he could then kill him, and it was like, okay, you could just,
Flick him.
flick him, like take him fully out, or just kill him. It was a thing of he's like, I gotta like it's because of how manipulative it feels. It's like
Yeah.
It's like, okay, like I'll root for you in the sense like I don't want everyone else to die. You're a terrible person though. You're a terrible person.
I don't feel like it was like that in the manhwa. Like in the manhwa, they kept him pretty steady as far as like his character development. Like he wasn't really an asshole.
Well, the scene I just described was specifically in the manhwa. In the anime, they changed it where it is still implied, but if you don't know how it went in the manhwa, then you wouldn't notice it in the show. Because in the show, it shows him kick the dude's sword,
Yeah.
but it doesn't show that he kicked it to the dude so that the dude could pick it up and then run at him with it and give him full justification.
Yeah.
So it just looks like he's like, oh, I'm gonna kick the sword, and now this guy's coming at me and I defend myself. It's like they took away a lot of the clear details that he was being an asshole.
Yeah.
So that it would be like, oh, I'm less of an asshole. This guy just came at me.
That's interesting. I will say though, if someone tries to kill me, like you have full justification.
Oh, 100%. But like, if you can lay his ass out immediately and avoid like the situation entirely, it's kind of the same with Yellowstone, where it's like there is a better solution than just beating their ass. There is a smaller like solution, and he could have just beat that guy's ass initially to the point where he couldn't like get up. Like,
But
Mhm.
they'll always come back at you.
Oh yeah, they always come back. Man, I really hope the main character has a way to deal with an A-class hero.
Well, they could get a gang together. You know what I'm saying? Like, also, he has the
we
older
talking about
brother.
Yellowstone or this now?
No, of the Soul Leveling. He
Okay,
has
yeah.
the older brother who's the S class.
Yeah, and
Like, it's a whole family of bullies.
yeah, but
who-
when he runs into him, when they finally have a physical conflict, he beats his ass. So it's like,
Yeah.
are we really worried about anything? Because the other thing about that is, yeah, the big brother comes around and he's a real problem. He is 100% not the type of guy to go, this main character is really strong. I need other people as strong as me. He would ego it out. He does ego it out, and he's
Yeah.
like, I'll just take him on by myself and get my ass beat again.
Yeah.
It's
Good times.
I don't know.
Well, thank you guys very much for listening.
Thank you very much.